Good evening, everyone. Tonight we're going to talk about how to make the Jack Beats sound from Lucky Date's refill number 2. I bought all 3 of Lucky Date's Reason refills, and I really love them. You know, it makes great sounds. So we'll talk about how to do that on the MicroKorg. So this is kind of half an homage piece to Lucky Date's work, and the other half, of course, for you MicroKorg enthusiasts. So here's what it sounds like. Nice fat sound, and totally achievable to really nail it on the MicroKorg, because it's pretty simple. It's a multi-timbral sound, but it should be pretty easy to make. So follow along here. So first we're going to hit Shift 3 and then 3 again to initialize the patch, and then we'll go over to our voice, and we want to change it and make sure it's on synthesizer, of course. Change it from single to layer, which means we'll be using both of the timbres for this sound. And so that's all we'll do. No, I'm sorry, we'll change the third knob to mono and then leave it on single for this fourth knob. Okay? Then move your edit select over to pitch, and we're going to transpose that down to -12. We're going to leave the tune at 0. Now, to get that sliding sound between the notes that you press, you're going to turn your portamento all the way to 50. Now, it depends on if you use the bend range or not. I don't really use it that much, so that's up to you, how much you want it to bend. I just leave it at 2. And then vibrato intensity, again, if you're going to use the mod wheel to achieve some sort of vibrato, how intense do you want that? That's up to you. So for the first timbre, actually, I turned the oscillator 1 off, so we can just skip that. And if you want to skip over to the mixer and just turn that all the way off, but turn oscillator 2 all the way up. So far it sounds like that. Okay, so let's go back to oscillator 2 using the edit select button and make sure it's on saw wave, which it should be. Knob 2 should be off, and then we are going to turn our knob 3 or our semitone up to 19. So we have it like that. Okay, we've already adjusted our mixer features. Leave it at the 12 dB low pass filter, and then we're going to taper it off just a little bit for the cutoff. About 100 should be good, and then resonance is fine at 20, and then the other 2 values are at 0. And really, that's all we're going to do. There's not going to be any filter EG or any amp EG other than what's already there. So we're pretty much done with the first timbre. So hit your timbre select and go over to timbre 2. All of the voice parameters should be the same, so let's go over to pitch. And we're going to change it down all the way -2 octaves or -24 on the pitch transpose. Then we'll leave tune at 0. Turn portamento also all the way up to 50, so you have the same sort of glide for the second timbre as you do for the first one. So already we're getting there. Yeah. And then again, it's up to you how much you want to do bend range and vibrato intensity. Okay, so for oscillator 1, just make sure it's on a saw wave. 0, 0 is fine, all that. We're not going to be using oscillator 2, so just go over to your mixer, make sure oscillator 1 is up to 127. Oscillator 2 is at 0, noise is at 0, of course. Okay, same thing, 12 dB low pass filter for the filter for timbre 2, sorry. Then 127 for the filter, so all the way open basically is fine. Resonance on 20, and the amp EG is all the same as it should be, just set to default. We're not going to be using any of the advanced routing, so patch 1, patch 2, none of that is applied. So it's actually a really simple patch, but I love how you get a nice fat sound out of it. So, pretty darn close. I'm going to play the synth sound from Lucky Date's Reason refill. sounds pretty much identical, so that's something that'll be great to play live if you use your MicroKorg live, or if you want to record with it. You know, absolutely fantastic sound. So thanks, Lucky Date. You know, I like following your videos and love your tutorials. And you know, if you have any questions, I'll be leaving the information in the info box below the video. So hit me up, and I hope you enjoy this. All right, so have a good night.